pondering and draw them back into the ministry, into that life here at Mount Marty.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
You can get expert eye care in Yankton with Avera Medical Group Wilcoxon Eye Associates. Here, eye diseases and injuries receive the best care because we offer the newest surgical techniques, supported by the best technology. We'd be honored to be on the forefront of your eye care. Learn more by visiting avera.org/Wilcoxon. avera.org/Wilcoxon.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
Life insurance is one of those subjects that make people want to change the subject rather than to admit they probably don't have enough. That's why I, your State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, focus on how the benefits of life insurance actually live on by asking people to think in terms of life without having to sell the house insurance, or life without having to give up college insurance. Find out how the benefits of life insurance can live on for your family. Call me, Rhonda Westland, your State Farm agent in Yankton at 665-4411 and put the life back in life insurance.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig in the studio, 1019 Broadway Avenue. Coach's Corner powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Coach Brady Muth, Coach Justin Olson. Coaches, good morning.
Morning, Bryce.
Hey, good morning, Bryce. Did you guys enjoy your non-football Friday again?
It was kind of weird.
Yes, we did, but it was weird not really having football activities. And that's going to be back on a Friday schedule, so thank God. Yep. I don't like the Thursday thing at all. It throws everyone off. I know you guys more than anyone, but it throws everyone off.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like you're really 2 days ahead in the week. Like everything feels rushed by 2 days, really. But it was nice having. I mean, we had film yesterday morning because yesterday was our Saturday, and so we had film yesterday morning before school. Guys came in and got some film study in and got set for the week, and they had yesterday evening off and then today off. I know we got a lot of guys going to visits and things like that, so they have some time where they can spend some time doing the things that they want to do and need to do, get away from us for a while and get back at it on Monday.
Well, I was calling the third set of Mount Marty basketball. Again, checks calendar. It was November 1st.
Yeah.
I don't know why Mount Marty is starting basketball at the same time as the NBA. But they seem to be doing that. But hey, I saw you at the game last night. Why didn't you just walk across the arena, come up to the media, and say hi?
Nah, I was It was, but I mean, like that, it was just fun to get out and just kind of have just some time where you can just, go catch a game and just be normal for a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm ready to get a little bit twisted on Monday again, but it's nice to have a night off.
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, you really could have came up and said hi during the women's game. I was struggling to find things to talk about.
I'm going to tell you right now, for the people that know me that are listening, know that any of my basketball expertise does not belong on the air.
Oh, see, that's where you're mistaken. We wouldn't be talking about basketball.
Okay.
We would just be talking about anything at that point. When you have a 60-point lead, it's just kind of like, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But hey, football.
Yeah.
All right, so Yankton defeated Aberdeen 28-6 Thursday night on Halloween to advance to the 11 AA state semifinals. A chilly night, some odd plays, officiating some stuff. Just another Aberdeen matchup. What did I come to expect?
I mean, and we told the guys, we said, things are going to be a little bit different. I mean, number one, Aberdeen is a really, really good team, and I'm not saying that just because we had a tough time with them. I mean, they're a big physical team. They're coached well, and, defensively, the defense that they presented us was a real aggressive defense, and it took us a while to kind of make some adjustments and really adjust just our approach to what we were doing with our offensive line. But I think, we talked about it as a coaching staff afterwards. It was just a complete team win. You look at the stat line, and obviously the offense doesn't produce like it normally does and doesn't hit our scoring average. But, man, our defense played lights out, and it was an ugly win. But when you've got different facets of a team playing at a high level and picking up others, it really makes it for I don't want to say an enjoyable night, but looking back on it, it's a win that we hadn't had a win that was really ugly like that, where we had to really get together and take a full team effort, and it was looking back on it was an enjoyable game that we needed.
And we'll talk defense, but staying offense real quick. 2 Yankton Bucks went for 200 yards rushing, Nelson and Cirque. And Cirque seemed to take some big hits in that game, especially near the end. That's a tough kid.
He did. And credit to Aberdeen Central. So the coverage that they play behind that would require them to play zone underneath it for the most part. When you get down into the red zone, they man up and they do some things. But for the most part, they're playing a safe zone behind, and they're bringing guys and they're vacating zones. And so their front was playing extra aggressive, in some situations sacrificing a gap. It seemed like they double gapped or got themselves in double gap situations an awful lot. But they were just playing very fast. And Ev took some hits, and it required us to do some things maybe that we need to get a little bit better at. But the one thing that was constant in that game was our run game. And so if you're looking for a bright spot coming out of it, just being able to stick to it and run for those totals, even though it didn't feel like we had that, that much movement offensively, to have those totals and those, numbers mean something in a football game, and to run the football that way against that defense speaks well for us.
I know if I do it long enough, you'll start putting my nicknames for these plays in your playbook. I got the Buck truck, right? And now I'm thinking the Yankton Buck triad, right? The 3 running backs.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Got it.
Something for
we'll put that one right in here.
I would literally watch him throw the trash as he leaves.
I have a hard enough time remembering their names. When we get to the point where we get numbers, we got number 1 and 24 and 5 back there. They're pretty good.
But it was a good overall. Just kind of facing adversity, as you mentioned, and just getting over and just getting it done.
And it was a lot like the Watertown game at the start of the Watertown game and the T game were a lot alike. And I don't know if this is what happened. I'm not going to say this is what happened, but it sure looked like this is what happened. We got up real quick. We were very effective offensively on that first drive. We had a pick 6. We're up 2 scores real quick, and I think it seemed like everybody got real comfortable. And if that's the case, then we definitely learned that lesson. There's no place or time for comfort on a football field. If you want comfort, that's on your couch in your living room. A football field it's going to be a high-pressure situation where and you have to stay locked in and engaged the entire game, because if you don't, something can happen. And Aberdeen was motivated. They're playing for their life. They've got some seniors that have played a lot of football there and wanted to keep playing, and so they're going to put forth their best effort. I think it looked like sometimes we didn't play to our best effort. We just played to as well as we thought we needed to, and that won't ever happen again.
Bryce Ladwig, known enjoyer of comfort on his couch. All right, Yankton defense, Coach Olson. So Yankton's defense does it again, batting down passes, being ball hawks, forcing Aberdeen to run power formation, to really move those chains there when they started being a little effective with that. But no really big chunk plays to speak of. 215 total yards allowed, only 65 rushing yards, and 4 more team interceptions. And that should do it for the team record for a season, surpassing 1979 with 19.
Well, that's a record that I guess I didn't know what the totals were. It's just one of those things where we're just going to keep on going.
Congrats.
And hey, well, thanks. Yeah, those guys put in a lot of hard work, and with Coach Blake Savvy, working technique and such, they've really come around from the start of the season to now. So, if we're talking about the secondary first, where we should, since we're talking about a record, they ball hawks. That's for a long time. That's kind of what ever since I got here, we just won that ball hockey unit, and we got some ball hawks out there, and they're working in the right positions. I know the game previous to that, we had 7 interceptions, and you take a look back at that game. In fact, we broke that one down, and a lot of them weren't in the right spots.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to clean that up to make sure that the concepts that they're seeing, that they saw on Thursday, matched up, and they performed and executed it correctly, and they did, and they put it in the right spots again. And Sheldon had a beautiful drop, got a pick 6 off it. Kale Hazelhorse, he's starting to figure out, starting to stay deep and come up on the ball instead of, come up and then turn around and go get a ball, and then breaking on the ball too. Watching the receiver's hips. With Bodie Thurman has done a pretty good job of coming up. Hips break, he breaks, and it's been fun to watch this group. And of course, Carson Ness back there too. And the one guy too that also stands out is Matt Grotenheis. If we're gonna hit all 5 of them, he came from splitting time to permanent starter, and that just elevated his game, in the run fits and also in the pass. And he's been collecting some love there too. So it's been fun to when you have a group like that over the top, and then you have a group like we have stopping the run, and it's really fun. And another guy that likes to be in the run fit is also Bodie Thurman. So when they throw the short bubbles and the wide receiver screens, he loves to come up and hit. And he also filled in on some of those big running backs that they had. Wasn't afraid to get in there and help stop the run.
Yes, 4 guys with those interceptions. Bodie Swayze Thurman has 2 in the season now. Matthew Sheldon with that pick 6, 2 on the year. Carson Ness with 5, and then the Warhorse, Kale Hazelhorse, with 7. So it's just a big crew, and you mentioned Grotenheis as well. You just have a solid unit back there, and that was from the beginning of the year, talking about how you're looking for them to grow and develop, and they're doing that.
Well, and I don't want to jump in here, but the other guy, so Miles Drotzman had a guy, had a really big play in the end zone, and he's a young kid. But the pass breakups too, which the interceptions are great, but the pass breakups are, that's to me that's just as big as an interception. And the one that Miles had in the end zone, he was in position to pick, but the smarter play was to bat it. So there's just a lot of really good guys playing football right now in our secondary.
Yeah, and then that was a good point, because that's one of the things that I was going to mention too. Was going to be the interceptions get in the paper, and the pass breakups don't. And we have some young guys that aren't even getting an opportunity to play. It's still waiting in the wings. So we kind of like our depth. And Miles is one of those kids too. Has been in there once he got into that starting role. We have confidence in him to do his thing, and he's been a good player for us in the secondary as well.
And the thing that for me, looking at it, because I know I'm the head coach, and I'm more of an offensive mind, so trying to learn defense and things as we're going through this. So for me as an observer, as a guy that's learning how all this works on our defense, the thing that has been amazing to me is the development of just total team defense. So not only are our interceptions going up, but you also see the last 2 years, especially our sack numbers have gone up. Yep. And so all those things work together. We're getting sacks because we're getting good cover. We're getting interceptions because we're getting good pressure. And if there's anything that Coach Olson needs to be the most proud of, it's getting an entire team to play defense the same way on the same page is I mean, when you've got a defense that you've got to break down and beat, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, and Talon Kenny and I think some others had a sack. I didn't look back at the film yet, but I know that he had one because it was like the first play of the game.
Yeah,
but, it's a lot of guys getting some action in there. And as usually with this defense, it seems that an entire great defense kind of circles around the planet of Matthew Sheldon, Bryce Crawl, Reardon's, and they're just kind of those linebackers, just so solid.
Yeah, and that's who we're going to rely on heavily, going forward. Defense needs to be solid, and we have a tough task, coming up with Pierre coming into our territory. But these guys thrive on that, and so you put those three back there, and then you have our front line, which it's now we got a pretty solid rotation. Coach Schwach has these guys rotating in, and so we're looking at 100% guy that's giving us effort compared to someone that might be a little bit tired at 85%. All right, we're getting them out, getting a new guy in there to run 100% for a few plays, a series or whatever, and then we're rotating them in, and we don't have any drop off.
Track meet out there,
yeah. And that's what we want. We have the offense that's just wearing down, that's going at Mach 5 speed, running their plays and tiring out the opposing team, and then if some of those guys play both ways, that's good for us. Then we're able to even put our pressure on and have some fun and. It's fun when you get the sacks. It's fun when you get the interceptions and the big hits, but it's really fun, kind of like Coach Muth was saying, when you have that whole team defense running the schemes and perfecting kind of their craft, and then team tackling, and just getting in there and that to me that's really fun to watch these kids do, and these kids love it, and just watching them fly the football. It's just so much fun to just sit back there, and I'm the beneficiary of that, and being able to call those plays and be the defensive coordinator, and it's a lot to do because of the players, and very proud of those guys. Everyone that steps foot on that defensive field, and like we talked about before, we have more in the wings that we can just run in, and that's kind of what I think our mission was to do, is develop next man up and not having drop off, and a credit to our players putting in the work on both sides of the ball. And even on special teams, those guys own their craft too.
I'm going to throw this out there. Whoever wants to speak on it first. Pierre coming to town, of course, for the 11AA state semifinal. Yankton, I want to remind you, but the fellow Pierre in the Dome last year. But we talked to that immediate show. You're talking about kind of hunting that bear, right? Like you want to get them. And well, now the amount of time these two teams have faced off in the playoffs, it seems appropriate that Yankton has the opportunity to finally just kind of cut them off at the knees at the state semifinals. So however you want to take it, whoever wants to take it, and whatever you want to talk about. Pierre,
I think we were on the bus on the way back, on my bus, and just.
Did you have to sit on a bucket this time? Or
no, I didn't have to sit on a bucket. No, but on the way back from Crane, last Thursday, and after the Aberdeen game, and I just said, well, we've got to be on top of things. Pierre's coming to town, and they'll be out for blood. And I don't know who it was, because it was someone behind me in the front seat just said, well, we're not done getting our get back yet either, Coach. So to me, that mindset tells me that, the big thing you want is you want a team playing at its highest level of confidence, but you don't want them too far out over in front of their skis. You know that the cool stuff happens when you're going real fast and you're getting real high off your jumps and everything's fast and free and fun. But you don't want to get in that position where you get in a predicament where you get a little bit out of balance and you land up on your face. And right now, that's right where our guys are at. I think we're playing with confidence. We know that we're a good football team, but we also know that we can be better, and we know that we've got to be on our best for this game.
All right, Coach Olsen.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to settle in on a scheme, beating Spearfish, 40 to 20. Actually, I don't think the score really tells that true story, to be honest with you, after we watch the film. But regardless, they have experience. I mean, that's one of the things. They've been one of the top teams for a very long time. So, to the same tune, they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring everything, because they want to go back just as bad as we do. But we have that taste in our mouth where we should cut them off the knees. This is our chance to not even let them get a sniff. That as close as they're going to get, we're going to leave them 25 miles short, and that's our goal. So And these guys, I love our guys. All our guys, our full roster from top to bottom. They've all developed that kind of same mindset, and it shows up in practice from the scout team to the starters. And this is their goal. And whoever's in their way, doesn't matter if it's peer or not, they're gonna do what they can to run through them. And fortunately, I think it's peer, and which even adds fuel to our fire. Just like the guys said, hey, we ain't done getting our get back. So we're gonna hopefully get our get back. Our guys are gonna prepare, and it's gonna be a great week of practice. And then come Friday night, you know what? Take the gloves off and let's go.
And it's back on a Friday, I think. Was the schedule back to normal then?
Yeah, same schedule. We'll be back onto our regular Friday schedule. So, other than just yesterday being Saturday. But yeah, Monday's Monday, Tuesday, and we're ready to rock and roll.
All right, you guys got big plans this weekend?
Catching my breath.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Just relaxing and kind of getting into. Don't have to. Obviously get prepared for peer. We already started them, which is kind of nice actually, because we already did some things already individually and together to get ready for this game, and it's kind of nice that you don't have to feel like the weight of the world, and you can actually see your family a little bit and
get to know them again.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'll let you guys get to that. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you middle of the week. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Bryce. All right, we'll take a break. Come back and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explorers CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's two best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfasts and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including weekend maintenance technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661-9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Ever try to fit a giant cactus into a box? No? Well, at the UPS store, we've seen it all. Okay, maybe not a cactus, but we've seen a lot, so don't worry. You don't have to be a packing genius. Let the associates at the UPS store handle it. From awkward size objects to important documents, we'll pack it perfectly, ship it safely, and give you peace of mind you need. Whether it's fragile, oversized, well, or just plain weird, bring it to us, and we'll take care of the rest. The UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion, because sometimes packing is harder than it looks.
All right, welcome back into the Coach's Corner. We're talking Yankton Bucks football. As I need to change the graphic to say the coaches that are in here. But while I'm doing that, good morning, coaches.
Morning.
Good morning.
Did you guys enjoy your Halloween? And we have 3 in here, by the way. As Coach Swak is just hiding in the corner. the new kid in the class is nervous. Now, please stand up and introduce yourself in front of the class. But Coach Terry Huber, and Brady Hill, and Dan Schwach. And I know I just asked, I don't know if I heard the answer. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. You guys went trick-or-treating, got a victory over Aberdeen. And,
absolutely.
Now 11 AA semifinal matchup coming up against Pierre. But let's talk about that Aberdeen matchup. Start with the offense. Coach Huber here. Not the greatest offensive game. You mentioned that post-game as well. But 2 different Yankton Bucks went for 200 total yards rushing. Nelson and Cirque. Cirque took some big hits there at the end. Tough kid. And Aberdeen seemed to kind of slow down the rush in the middle, but still able to get 228 yards.
Yeah, extremely proud of those guys. They played it very, very hard. Like you said, not extremely pleased with our performance as an offense, but that's the expectations that not only I've set, but the players have set for themselves. I think that they all kind of felt that same way. That we have goals, we have expectations of ourselves, both individually and as a group. And I think that they all kind of felt like we left a lot out there that we didn't. I don't know. When I look at the game, I think our eyes really kind of they weren't great that game on pretty much all positions, whether it's the line, the receiving core, quarterback, running back. It doesn't matter. I think our eyes are really what struggled in this game, and we need to focus on that this week. Getting some good looks on the scouts so that we can know exactly where guys are going to be, or we can at least have a very good a very good idea where that's going to happen.
Yeah, and Coach Hill, we're going to get Slava one of those returns for a touchdown. It just seems getting so close.
Yeah, it's a good thing we get so many opportunities. Defense does a great job getting us the ball back, but we got to just get one kid blocked up. It seems like we're missing 1 or 2 guys. But Aberdeen is a good special teams unit, so semifinal game, that'd be nice to get a huge play like that, and nobody better to do it than Bubba.
Hey, I'm thinking when it does happen, right, over the next, there's going to be 2 games left. Okay?
Yep.
When that does happen, I think you need to leave the coach's booth. Okay. I will leave the KYNT booth and just a big high five.
Yeah. Yes, a big high five all the way across the Dakota Dome.
Yep, all the way there, All right, and Coach Schwach, where are you at? Where are you at in here? Where's he at?
Well, we got the face.
We
for
see his arm.
The face for radio, I guess, is over here.
Who's the guy in Home Improvement? The neighbor is it
Wilson.
Except it's just your arm on the show right now. But Talent Kenny got in there with a sack, one of the first plays of the game, the D line, and then there's some other guys. I haven't looked back at the film, so if you're one of those other guys, congratulations.
Peyton Eustace kind of scared the quarterback back and right into Talon's arms. That was an exciting first play. I believe it was the first play from scrimmage, so that just kind of sets the tone and then make them false start and get a jump. So we kind of set the tone right away. Riker Frang and Derek Beal in the middle, and Lucas Cordell kind of rotates in with Derek Beal. Those guys are just solid up front. They are disciplined, and when you take away that inside run, that helps it out, and then you have Edley on the edge doing Edley things, and pretty darn athletic and slowly but surely learning the game of football and how to be a good defensive end.
Olsen was talking about the advantage that Yankton has, and of course you will speak to this as well, but over the rest of 11 AA, just the depth of that defensive line. You're running a track meet with fresh guys coming in and out the entire time, so almost always at 100%, right?
Yeah, Easton Fieser runs in, and then we're to the point of the year where our guys are in pretty good shape, but Talon, Easton, and then Peyton Eustace, we were able to keep him off the defensive side of the ball for a pretty good chunk, so he can focus on offense. So, I mean, that's just a testament to the depth of the team that we can keep a lot of guys going one way and get some fresh guys off the edge, and injury doesn't necessarily hurt us out all that bad if we lose a starter for a little bit.
All right, now back to offense. How is Cirque feeling today?
We kind of talked. He said he took a few hits. Like you said, they had some big boys in the middle.
I only asked because our microphone picks up those hits.
Yeah,
they hurt me.
Yeah, he said he was doing well. At the end of the game, just kind of let Shelley in there, knowing that we're trying to run some clock out, and they're going to be really coming for that football. So just a bigger, beefier back kind of helps out in that situation. And it's a lot of the what they know what we're doing, we know what we're going to do. We're running the clock out, and so they're going to pack as many guys in there. So just kind of a safety thing wise, it just made a little more sense to have a bigger guy in there. So.
Yeah, and then talking to Easton a little bit, more of one of those games of kind of managing the offense because we're relying on more of the running attack. And a couple of picks, but one of them I think was just a miscommunication from what I could tell.
Yeah, and that's like I said, look, the eyes and the communication in this game. That's going to be the thing that we look back on the most. I thought he had a solid game. Didn't have a great game, but didn't have a bad game. Interceptions to me, as long as you're being aggressive, I'm not too. I don't get hung up on interceptions. If it's just a poor play and you're being careless with it, that's one thing. But I have yet to see that from a quarterback here in the last 3 years. We haven't been careless with the ball. So yeah, the interceptions, just we're going for it. We're trying to be aggressive there. It's a tough stat because people see him and like, we turned the ball over. You got 2 interceptions. This to me, it's a little bit different for me. Just because I know that I want to be aggressive, I want to attack as fast as possible, and those things happen. So I know Easton, and he knows my philosophy on it, so he's not going to hang his head on those interceptions. It is what it is.
And then is the pass rush for him really slowing down to the point where it feels like me watching it, he was already pretty calm. That's why we were talking about that a lot in the beginning of the year, but now he just doesn't seem to really faze him too much.
Yeah, and that first drive especially, I just told him when he came off, I was like, your clock right now in your head is very good. He was there, counting his clock, making his reads as he's going through. Like you said, it's to the point where it's just a normal thing. He's comfortable. He knows those boys up front are going to give him as much time as they can. And that trust between those 5 and him, that's a big deal. So I think that he trusts those guys with his life back there, and that's what we need.
All right, and then back over to special teams. We had a blocked extra point from. I haven't even looked back at it too much, Coach Hale, but it looked like the process was actually pretty fine.
Yeah. Aberdeen is solid on those units. They really practice that, and they get in a sprinter stance, and they're low, and that's just tough. And they were triple gap and RA gap. And that's tricky because, our long snapper, obviously you can't hit him, but sometimes it's incidental contact or whatever. So, it's sometimes hard to protect all the way down to that gap. And if they put 3 guys in there, sometimes it doesn't work out in our favor. So, that's something we're definitely going to shore up. And if there's a positive, I'm glad it didn't really, we ended up winning by enough points where that really didn't come into effect, so we can correct it and get it fixed, because you're right, this is the time of the year where you need every point you can get. So we're gonna fix that. Maybe look at beefing up the interior a little more and switching guys around. But that unit, that's a tough unit. They sit in there and they take all those hits. Riker Frang, he sits in there. He does a great job. Sometimes you got one guy on your right, left, and then the third guy is just barreling right down, and just you got to stand in there and take it for your team. And those guys are all willing to do that, and a lot of them are starters on the offensive line and things like that. So we'll definitely get that fixed, but it's credit to Aberdeen. They did a nice job.
Every time that someone in this studio mentions a gap, I'm going to start cracking open a beer and eating nachos back here. It's like, yep.
Yes.
Keep talking football.
Yeah.
Yes. No, but keep it going around special teams. Good coverage for the Bucks, both on punt and kick. And there really hasn't been, I'm really racking my brain to think about any big explosive returns this year. Maybe one, but I can't really think of it. It's just been solid.
Yeah, and that's what kind of we preach to our guys is, I don't want you to be like most plays. You shouldn't be noticed on special teams. You should be doing your job, and we want safe transition of the football from offense to defense. And then when we have our opportunities to make plays, we got to make a splash play. And I thought first top of my head, Matthew Sheldon punted the ball amazing. And Aberdeen did the same kind of thing they do all the time. They send a lot of guys at.
He got one down to the 1.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's tricky to do, but he's got to operate fast when they're pressuring like that, and he does a great job. I trust him completely back there. And then those guys covering the punts have to do a great job being solid and understanding where the ball's being kicked. And then kickoff coverage. I mean, I'll keep shouting this guy out, but Sadlacek is just I watch him almost every rep, and he does his job correctly. And I wish, we could get every kid to kind of get that same mentality. And that's the thing. You got to always have something to strive for. And Jace is kind of the epitome of what we want on special teams. And we have a lot of good guys that are willing to put their body on the line for the team. And just happy that we can kind of just, maneuver through special teams. And if we can get a splash play, then that's great. But most important thing is give our offense and defense the ball or be on defense in a good spot.
Coach Swak, you seem like a guy that likes to blitz the A-gap.
On occasion, I guess, yeah. I'm more of a just sit back and play deke sometimes, but
I just wanted another excuse to say A-gap.
Well, we did run a lot of A-gap power and A-gap inside zone this week, so I do want to kind of touch on Coach Hale and Coach Swak being in here. One thing as coaches, we kind of sit in there and we talk, how we thought the game went. And this was a big game, in my opinion, as a big team win. As the offense, when we're struggling a little bit, it's such a calming feeling as the coordinator to know that special teams is going to go get that fumble on punt. They're going to get the transition and they're going to put it on the 1 to give our defense that ability to attack, and go after it. And our defense playing solid the entire game, knowing that, we can go for 4 downs. And if we don't get it, then they're going to take care of business. And that's the best thing, in my opinion, about this game is these guys are now aware that it takes a full team effort, and that full team effort was in effect. When one of the 3 are not doing well, the other 2 got to pick them up. And I thought that happened tremendously in this game.
I feel bad for you right now because I forgot to ask Muth, but I've been instructed by multiple people to ask a coach this on air. What happened at the end of the first into the second, that penalty, when the time clearly had run out? So now you're tasked with this. Congratulations.
I think it was I'm pretty sure the explanation was that
Hale's just smiling ear to ear right now.
The explanation that was given him is, from what I know, is that the refs just did not see the clock ran out. Therefore, the penalty they called, they can't reverse that penalty because they didn't see the clock was out. So it's one of those things where it's very unfortunate for us that it happened. To me, it shouldn't have happened anyways because we shouldn't have had that penalty. So I'm wearing that for the offense. But it's just an unfortunate, I think, incident that happened. It's nothing that could have been avoided, I guess, just because it was a timing thing, I think.
No one needs to wear it because it was versus Aberdeen and weird things happen.
Yeah, that's very true.
Every time. But you coaches have big plans this weekend?
Just
you going back to the farm? Are you actually gonna watch football?
I'm going to the farm, so I'll be harvesting some corn.
Hale, you can help him on the farm.
Yeah, I always do. I'm a big farmer. I know all about that.
Hale's in the peat. He's cruising on the peat. So
sounds good. Coach Swak, you got big plans?
Well,
I think Hale's watching SCSU today.
I'm going to try and recruit Coach Hale to come help me fence.
Keep busy.
Hale's like, guys, I know we're joking. I really don't want to do any manual labor today. But no, congratulations to all you coaches, and we'll be talking to you in the middle of the week, all right?
Appreciate it. Thanks, Bryce.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. And we'll take a break, come back, and continue on the Coach's Corner.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Today's world is changing and you need your general liability plan to change along with it. If you're a business owner, give me, Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates a call and let's check your policies. Since you're busy running the business, I'll do all the legwork, so feel free to call, email, or stop down. 124 Walnut Street in Yankton.
Are you new to Medicare or turning 65 soon? Have you met IRMA? Who's IRMA? IRMA is an additional Medicare tax that comes into play based on your tax filing income. Let's chat today to see if you'll be meeting IRMA in your Medicare future. Missouri River Associates.
All right, welcome back to the Coaches Corner, and we'll now turn our attention to YHS Nation. KYNT Sports Director Braden Butler caught up with Goodwinish, and we'll talk about that activity coming up here. YHS Nation like to keep tabs on other activities other than sports at Yankton High School, and here is that conversation.
Braden Butler here on KYNT for another edition of YHS Nation. YHS Nation is looking at the activities and events going on around Yankton High School, as well as a more in-depth look at one of those activities or events in our weekly interview segment. This week, we're talking to Gwen Winish, the band director at Yankton High School, about the Yankton High School Indoor Marching Band concert that's coming up on Monday inside the Yankton High School Gymnasium. Before we get into that interview, let's look at some things that are happening this weekend for Yankton High School. High School All-State Chorus and Orchestra is happening in Sioux Falls. That's at the Denny Sanford Premier Center today. And oral interpretation, the Lewis and Clark Interp Invite was this morning. That got started around 8 a.m. at Yankton High School. Got plenty of events coming up next week, but the one we're focusing on today is the Indoor Marching Band concert. Got a chance to talk to Gwen Winish earlier this week about this concert coming up, as well as their season as a whole. Let's go to that interview now.
Braden Butler here for Riverfront Broadcasting. Joining me is Gwen Winish, high school band director for Yankton High School, talking about the indoor marching band concert coming up on Monday. So that's a big for your group, and it's a culmination of a full season of not indoor marching band, but full season of marching band activities and events. And I got a chance to see it when you guys performed at halftime of the homecoming game for football, and I enjoyed it. But kind of getting ahead of myself there. Before we get into any of that, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Glad to be here. Glad to talk about what's going on with these kids. It's been a fun season, a long season. We're ready to put this show to bed, but at the same time, it's always bittersweet to say farewell to the show concept, the show ideas, and especially our seniors that are leaving and having this as their last marching season. Yeah.
So we'll start just talking about the show itself. If you give a rundown on the show, the concept, as you mentioned, and then how far back does training for this go? When do you guys start preparing for the marching band season?
So the actual concept starts getting developed this year. We started probably around like February and try to figure out what ideas the kids had for what they wanted to do, and then started looking at, hey, which one would best fit what we know the judges are looking for when it comes to going and doing a marching competition. And we had a plan all in place, and all of a sudden I started seeing all of this information come about for the community celebration for the Meridian Bridge. And I went to our other staff members, and I'm like, we need to fall in line and do something to help celebrate the community event, the centennial of the Meridian Bridge. How can we do this? So I contacted our drill writer and started chatting with him about how we can tie all these things in and still have a fun, upbeat show that the kids could have a lot of enthusiasm preparing for and working long hours on it. And we came up with the concept that we had. It was the show was called The Mighty Missouri, and we had pictures in the background of a steamboat, pictures in the background of the Meridian Bridge itself, and the steamboat picture that we actually had on our field is one of the true steamboats, paddle wheel boats that went through the Yankton area at that time. So historically, we're tying in a little bit of that as well. And we just started tying in the different concepts. What would a night on the steamboat be like? What would they be doing for entertainment? What would be some of the things they might be using to pass the time? One of the church hymns, one of the hymns at that time was Down by the River to Pray. So we tied that into it. And then you might have troubled waters as you're getting and learning about and discovering new territories. So then we took that one. We're like, well, that would be a nice intense one. And then at the end, we celebrated it with a reprise of the Down by the River to Pray again. So just getting the kids to see this and start putting that storyline together so they understood where it was coming from. And then we start putting it onto the field and looking at the shapes and stuff and how we want to do things. And that starts in July. So we haven't even hit the field yet, and already we're looking at all these things and how they tie in. Our marching practices started in July. We had a 2-week extensive summer camp with the kids. And then school starts, and we had the Riverboat Day Parade in there. School starts, we start at 6:45 every morning. So it's super tiring. The kids are exhausted. A lot of them are in multiple activities even after school. So we're trying to utilize our time the best as we possibly can. And we get to our competition season and start listening to what the judges have to say. How can we make our show better? How can we do more musically to draw that interest level in? And that's how the process starts. And then looking at the whole picture, I was sitting beside a friend at a football game, and it was just right after homecoming. He's like, so what do the judges all look at? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, what do they all look at when you go to competitions? He goes, do they look at more visually? Do they look more musically? And I'm like, all of it. They look at color guard. They look at how the color guard relates to what the marching band is doing. They look at the marching band. How is the music of it? What are they doing to help sell the show? What are they doing motion-wise to help draw the intensity of the audience and capture the intensity and the attention span of the audience? So many things go into it. And yeah, you just have to kind of keep building and building and building, and we go from there.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It doesn't sound like there's much of an off season for you thinking about this kind of thing.
No.
I know you're wrapping it up here shortly, but
yeah, and this season actually for next year's marching season, we're already starting now. So that's part of our indoor show is we're going to release the new theme for next year's marching show. So that's kind of exciting, and it's also going to give us more time to incorporate some things that we're noticing a consistency in what the judges are looking for, and hopefully helping to take our ensemble to the next level. Yeah. So
and then as you mentioned, like what the judges are looking for and everything, I know completely uneducated mind, I enjoyed the show when you guys performed at halftime of the homecoming football game. But how did you guys do this year in competitions? What did the judges think of your guys' performance?
Well, and it's kind of a catch-22 question because there's different ways that you can run competitions, so they're not all treated the same. So we had one competition that was in Brandon. It was called Big Stu Review, and that one was a different format of judging. So when we went to that one, it was basically we just looked at what the judges had told us, and we're like, okay, this is our step one. We have a lot that we can do to improve this based on what they had told us. They liked our basic concept, but they wanted to see us take it to another level. Okay, so we implemented a few of those things. It went okay. Got into the second competition, and that was at Festival of Bands. Festival of Bands is probably one of the biggest competitions throughout the region. I think overall they started field band competition that morning at 10 o'clock, and they didn't finish it till 6 o'clock that night. So, extensive ensembles are coming in front of them all the time. And we improved our score from the week before. So we're like, okay, there's a win. Let's hang our head on that. And we walked into March to the Meridian. We're hosting. We want to make sure we're putting out a good show. The kids had a lot of intensity for that one. Our final competition was USD's regional championship, Quad State Regional Championship. And this one, again, is run differently than the other two and how they do their scoring. And it was just everything that we had gained from the judges' critiques and evaluations we worked so hard to implement it because we're like, we got to come away with a very positive feel. This is our last time of performing it on competition. Let's walk away holding our heads high. And the kids really brought it that day. It was an awesome performance. And so we're sitting there waiting for the judges' results to come in, and we ended up placing first in our division, which was a win. Number 2, we ended up having the highest score that Yankton's had at Quad State in quite a few years. So that was a nice sell again for the kids. And then number 3, there were 17 bands there. And out of all 17 bands, they're all broken into classes, but cumulatively, out of all 17 bands, we finished 5th, which was wonderful. A great way to end things where the kids felt wonderful. In our division itself, we placed first, but overall, we placed 5th. And going up against bands that were almost twice the size of ours, and we're still placing 5th. So we were very, very happy with how the season ended, yes.
I say, even though, as you mentioned, like every competition would be judged a little differently, deem it a success in the end, especially with that culmination.
Exactly. It's interesting, you know, because I literally go through all the judges' comments and I write everything down so the kids can see that, hey, even though I've said it multiple times, they kind of tune me out, kind of like a kid does to their parent, you know? So it's easy to have, or it's nice having that information out in front of the kids so that they can see, like, okay, she's been talking to us now about horn angles. Here's 2 judges that have said, hey, your horn angles need to get addressed. It takes this visual element away, or hey, this motion wasn't quite clear. Wow, I've been saying the same thing for the last 2 weeks. So it's nice having that confirmation of where I'm wanting to push the kids, and that's in alignment with what the judges are looking for. And also there's other things that they're making me see things differently too. So it's nice having that information there and building on it and seeing from week 1 to that week 4 how much they have improved, how much they have grown, and how much they've really, really brought this show to life. Yeah.
And with that growth throughout the entire year, you got one more, the indoor marching band concert on Monday at Yankton High School. Last chance for people to come and see this year's performance. So give us the information on Monday. Not to stop talking about a great season,
that's fine.
but
That's fine. This is like the end all be all. We always have so much fun putting this show together. It's such an adjustment though, because you're going from a big football field and having all of that space to utilize for your shapes and your moves and all these things, and trying to condense it down to a basketball court. So it's a little intense trying to get everything reset and reformed, but it just reverberates in a gymnasium. You got 90 kids playing and it just sounds wonderful. So we're getting ready to go for that. The indoor show is Monday night at 7 p.m. We also have basket raffles. We have some wonderful businesses that have been willing to throw money or throw items towards some of the baskets that are going to be up available for raffles that night. We have some amazing cooks within our band family that are bringing in some dessert options too, that if you wanted items, you could get items. If you want baked goods, you can get baked goods. And that's all available through raffles. The concert itself, the performance itself starts at 7. And basically we go through section introductions where you get to see a little snippet of each one of the section's personalities. They come up with their own audio soundbite to go along with it, and they do a little demonstration of what they can do and who they are as kids. And we go through all of that. We do the national anthem with our local VFW. And we have the middle school band that's going to be there as a guest group performing also as they wrap up their season. And then we recognize our seniors. We would not have any of the successes we have gotten this year if it wouldn't be for outstanding leadership from them. So we definitely want to pay those guys, give those guys their acknowledgement that they've worked so hard, and they've been such gangbusters for me the entire 4 years of high school, 100%. And then the final thing that we do is we play the show one final time. And it's just a culmination of everything. You have some kids that are so happy that it's done, and you have some kids that are so happy that it's done, but at the same time, they realize it's their last. And so you'll see anything from laughter and tears of joy to sadness and a little bit of like, oh wow, I got to move on, you know. But that's what our Monday night's going to be. It's going to be a great show. We do have an admission into this because this is a fundraiser for the marching band itself. So there's we have the post out there on Yankton Buzz and Yankton School District. So take a peek at that. But we would love to just pack that stand, the bleachers, and have everybody there. It's just such a fun night. Absolutely a fun night.
It sounds like a great night. And as you mentioned, closing the door for some seniors.
Yeah.
It's always difficult no matter what you're involved in, having to close that chapter of your life.
Yeah.
So get out there and support them for one last time, Monday night, Yankton High School. Congratulations to you on a great season. Obviously, you mentioned some of your successes throughout the year, and hopefully Monday night goes great.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping also.
Big thank you once again to Gwen Winish for taking time out of her day earlier this week to come into the studio and talk to me for YHS Nation about the indoor marching band concert. That was the full edition of the interview. That was full length, I believe almost 12 minutes. I got a chance to talk to Gwen Winish about this marching band concert. I believe a shortened version will be played on Monday, closer to 7 or 8 minutes, just for radio purposes and time constraints on the Totally Yankton Morning Show. So be sure to tune into that one, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Monday. Jeff Erickson here for the Totally Yankton Morning Show. Let's take a look at the activities going on this week, though, around Yankton High School. Marching Band has a varsity event, the Indoor Marching Band Concert, on Monday night, 7 p.m. at Yankton High School. Yankton Gazelles Volleyball, jumping ahead to Tuesday, has a varsity match at Brookings High School against Brookings. That wraps up their regular season for the Gazelles. That starts at 7 p.m. Tuesday evening. Now let's jump ahead to Friday, November 8th, oral interpretations in Mitchell for the Mitchell McGovern, and Yankton Bucks football has the state semifinal matchup with the Pierre Governors beginning at 7:05 p.m. at Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton. Should be a good one. State semifinal Friday night in Yankton. That's your look at the activities and events going on around Yankton High School this coming week. I've been Braden Butler, and this has been YHS Nation. Thank you once again to Gwen Winish for taking time to talk to me about the Indoor Marching Band Concert on Monday, and be sure to get out there and enjoy it and support those kids, and support these Yankton students in everything that they do, whether it's athletics, academics, music, or performative arts. Get out there and support them, everything they do. This has been YHS Nation here on KYNT. Until next time, stay safe, be good people. I've been Braden Butler.
FM 1021 and AM 1450 KYNT Yankton.